Hey YouTube, how are you doing? Last year was the first half of my sophomore year in college. I decided to mix things up a little bit and had an EMT course throughout it. I finished that about 2 or 3 weeks ago, so right now I am a certified EMT. I haven't got fully registered yet, so I can't work as an EMT. The certification says that I have been trained as an EMT should be. One of the components of the class is that I get to experience an ambulance ride-along, which I did 2 times. The first time was the most active, the second time nothing really happened. Today I'm just going to go over what the first ambulance ride-along was like. I rode along for 12 hours, and for each hour, I wrote 1 diary entry. I'm going to say some things that I don't include in diary entries, looking back, and then I'm also going to read parts of the diary entries. They do kind of capture some of what I went through. Hour 1, I showed up. It was earlier than I'd been up for a while. I was tired. I felt like I looked horrible. The door to the front of the building was locked, so I wasn't sure if it was at the right place, but then I found someone walking into the garage, which was good. I said, "Hey, my name's Dylan, I'm here for a ride along," and the guy just seemed not to care, like, okay. So that was a little bit off-putting. I was introduced to 2 EMTs who were packing up their ambulance, and those were the people I rode along with. I don't remember their names. One was a guy and one was a girl. As he was packing, the guy EMT showed me around a little bit in the ambulance. I got to hold some pretty strong medicines. I got to see a little bit of morphine and some meth. So, hour 1, diary entry. I feel I'm losing my mind. I'm sitting in the back of the ambulance, facing the opposite way we're heading, and through the window, the world is swaying left to right. It was swaying because the tires had just recently been changed, and apparently that makes the whole vehicle sway. It's a little scary. The gurney is calling to me to sleep on it. This recollection of events will capture my mental journey through my 12-hour shift. Hour 2 was my first patient. Came in contact with my first person. She hated me and let it be known. She wasn't talking, but with her eyes I could hear her say, "I want to cut your face off and eat what comes out." This vehicle feels present with spirits from hell. Yeah, that's definitely how it felt. Hour 3. We have now stopped for breakfast at a diner hidden within some industrial area. It was a weird diner thing. The food attacked me from the inside, making me nearly puke. Felt quite unwell after. Hour 4. The crew has left me. They said I was too mediocre of a person, so I needed a time out to think about why I suck. The ambulance I was with originally left me behind. I didn't get to see the most interesting patient. Hour 5. I'm so alone. I belong nowhere. That's where I'm going in life. Hour 6. Another crew let me ride with them, and they're quite pleasant. My first patient with them was pretty nice, which makes me suspicious that the next patient is going to be horrible. The second group of people I switched to were just 2 men. They were nice. Hour 7. Third patient ended up being actually the best I've seen so far. Don't remember that. He made me feel special. Told stories about his time in the armed services and during the Civil War. Hour 8. I've now been left by the other crew. Hour 9. I'm so alone and useless. I'm hiding from the office people for as long as I can until one of the ambulances return. Hour 9.7. I've been found, but the person said nothing and did not rat me out. I finally got to play the Xbox right here. Hour 10. If I hadn't come today, then I'd be at a party right now. My morning ambulance arrived back, and I'm now headed down the interstate, facing backwards. Hour 11. If I go home in time, then we should just pick up my last patient. When I applied the blood pressure cuff, I positioned it very poorly. Hopefully nobody notices. I remember the blood pressure cuff being on that person. We actually got a wrong reading, and I had to reapply it, which is funny. Final hour. We dropped off the patient, and her grandkids were all over her as we left. The day is over, and the crew said I was going to make a very horrible EMT. So that was my first ambulance ride along. I'd say I learned a little bit. I got some experience of what it's like to be an EMT, and I just completely started to hate myself. Hopefully you enjoyed. Goodbye.